Wednesday, it is 12:30 and here I am. Today I am going to talk about how to articulate what you do, because it's one of the biggest challenges that I come across when meeting business owners. And not only that, I experience the effects of people who are not able to articulate what they do so that the other person can understand. So if you have ever been either in a meeting or at a networking event or just generally chatting with somebody about what you do, and they kind of look at you in that way that they're not quite sure, or they don't respond in a way that you expected, they don't understand exactly what you do, then this Facebook Live is really going to help you and give you a structure of how you articulate what you do in a way that people get and that really engages them. So I'm going to spend 10 minutes on giving you that structure, which is super simple, but may take a bit of time for you to write up once the Facebook Live is over. So if you are going to generate sales in your business, you have to engage people in a conversation. Now, what I'm going to share with you, whilst it's a structure, you may pitch it in one go. And if, you know, this is a structure that was taught to me by one of my mentors, Mike Harris, and he calls it the perfect pitch because he spent years listening to people pitching for investment, and he realised that the ones that actually were successful covered all of these elements in their pitch. So you may pitch it all in one go, but more likely, once you've mastered your perfect pitch, you will be able to just take bits and pieces out of it in a normal conversation so that it doesn't sound like a machine gun pitch to the person. But because you know it off by heart, because you have developed it and tweaked it and perfected it over time, it sounds completely natural. So let me just share the elements of the perfect pitch. The first part is clarity. You need to be able to state in one sentence exactly what you do with total clarity. So, hi, I'm Lee Ashton and I help people get more sales. That's it. You don't have to be more complicated, and the more vague you are, the worse it is. And the reason for that is that while you're being vague, and you might say, I am a coach and I help people transform their business, the person that you've just said that to actually is not hearing another word you've said, because they are in their head trying to figure out what transform your business means. So you have to absolutely nail this in one sentence. And a really good way to do this is to create your pitch in a way that if you spoke it to a 14-year-old, they would get it completely. So how do you construct that one sentence, two at most, on what it is that you do? No more than that. If you can do it in one sentence, fantastic. The next part of the pitch is your credibility. So in a couple of sentences, what makes you credible? Why should anybody listen to you? So for me, I've been in sales for over 30 years, and for the last 21 years, I have been working with small business owners and large corporate sales teams to change the way they think about sales so that they can generate more sales and be totally comfortable doing it. So that's my credibility piece, the fact that I've been in sales for 30 years and I absolutely love selling, and I've been training people for the last 21. So that's why they should listen to me. So if you can do that in a couple of sentences, brilliant. But you don't have to have 30 years experience like me. You could have credibility because of other things. So it could be that You may not have been training people for many years. You may have been doing it in a corporate setting. So whatever experience you've had doesn't have to be in your own business. And another way of doing it is that you could be on the receiving end. So a great one is like Richard Branson. He didn't have any experience of the airline business, but he'd been a passenger so often and for so long, and he was so disillusioned with the service he was getting that he set up his own airline. So that also gives him credibility. I have been a passenger so many times and for so many years. So you've got clarity and credibility. The next piece that you have to get across in the simplest of terms is, what is the problem that you are solving? What is it that your service or product puts an end to? What problem, what pain do you take away? So I take away the psychological barriers that certain people have about specific sales activity. It's what goes on in the inside that has the biggest impact on sales. And it doesn't matter how confident you are, you can still have barriers to selling. So explain the problem in the simplest terms, no jargon, just layman's language, so that the person who is on the receiving end goes, I get that problem, I have got that problem, and you speak like you really understand my problem. So you now have clarity, credibility, and the problem that you are wanting to solve. Now the fourth piece is your solution. So what is your solution? So depending on who I'm talking to, I have a couple. The first one is, I have a sales platform that gives every business owner everything they need in one place to be great at sales. It's your sales toolkit for small business. So that's if I'm talking to a business owner. If I'm talking to a sales director in a big organisation, I'll say, I've developed a program that takes your sales people through these 4 steps to developing their mindset, and then I go into the 4 steps. So you have now clarity, credibility, the problem that you're solving, and your solution to that problem. So it's a beautiful flow, that it's a journey that you can take these people on, and literally you can do that in less than 2 minutes. And it's short, it's succinct, and it keeps them engaged. Now there are 2 extra bits that I'd really love you to think about and add to the end of this perfect pitch that you're about to create. And that is what you are known for and how you leave people feeling, because that gives it some juice and it gives it some emotion. Now, I always add these at the end, but you can add them wherever in the pitch feels right. So, you know, in your credibility piece, you could add what you're known for and just have how you leave people feeling at the end. You just figure out where it's best. I quite like it at the end because it's quite an emotive way to close the pitch. And so what am I known for? I'm known for taking the fear and dread out of sales and giving people the tools to feel really comfortable and to sell confidently without fear or awkwardness. And how I leave people feeling is inspired to take action. So take my examples, create your own examples, and then write it out and then read it out loud and record yourself. And then if you stumble in at any of the points, you know you just need to tweak that. So record it, listen, tweak. Record it, listen, tweak until you are really happy with your first draft, and then test it. So then find somebody that you can chat with and read your pitch or practice your pitch with them and see how they react. Don't tell them how to react, just get their reaction, and then you can keep tweaking it as you go along. This is absolutely the best way of perfecting it. And not only that, you can use your pitch not only in conversation, but it can form the basis of all of your marketing, email copy, website copy, anything that you communicate what you do with the outside world. You can use your perfect pitch to do that. So there it is. Clarity, credibility, the problem, the solution, what you're known for, and how you leave people feeling. If you want to send me your perfect pitch for feedback, then I'll absolutely do that. You can attach it here in the group. And also, if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer on your pitch, then just jot them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. So there we are. Did it, 10 minutes. I'm really grateful that I can get these little snippets to you in super quick time. Anyway, enjoy that, and I will see you next week, next Wednesday at 12:30 for Facebook Live. And as usual, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to cover, but it will be something that is going to be useful. Anyway, take care, have a great rest of the day, a great rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.